It took just 9 months for the German war machine to blitzkrieg its way to the coast of France. Pushed out at Dunkirk and facing imminent invasion, the British were forced to rethink their approach to design.
By June 1940, Britain had been soundly kicked out of Europe. We were in desperate need of submachine guns. And on the 12th of December, 1940, a man called Harold John Turpin sat at his kitchen table and designed this, the Mark I Sten gun.
Germany had smashed through Europe with weapons that spoke of quality design and cutting-edge technology. But with high-grade materials and skilled workers in short supply, the British had no choice but to take the low road.
This is Harold John Turpin's first prototype, serial number 1. The main tube was virtually exhaust pipe tube. The screws are BA sizes, available in any hardware shop in the country. The mainspring was made by Flexlow, bed spring makers. Nothing on this gun was forged or machined with expensive machine tools. It was all punched and fabricated.
This was ingenious improvisation, but it wasn't simple enough.
Because it used wood and was full length, Mr. Turpin was told to simplify it, and he did. He came up with this, the Mark II Sten gun.
Easy to assemble and use. The Mark II was a flat-pack submachine gun.
This gun cost £2, 7 shillings to make. It is cheap and it is nasty, but it does exactly what it was made to do.
Issued to troops at home and parachuted into Nazi-occupied Europe by the thousand, the Sten became the signature weapon of Allied resistance. And it signified a radical departure from the traditions of British design.
Push it down and back.
The Sten gun emerged in Britain immediately after the withdrawal of the British troops from France after Dunkirk. And in a way, it was a great shock for Britain to have to learn to design instantly, rapidly, just like that, and to get away from a comfortable, old Victorian, Georgian, craft-skilled world into one of brutal mass production. But the British learned, for a need for survival by instinct partly, to tighten up the design process, to get rid of some of that beautiful craft. When you get to a Sten gun, this is now design, manufacturing that can be just produced like that. I mean, you can produce them as fast as you can fire them almost. And so that intense simplicity made it could be manufactured by anyone from Polish underground resistance workers to the smartest old factory in Britain.
A factory, for example, like this one, in Merton, South London, whose pre-war output was a world away from military hardware.
We made pedal motor cars, dolls, soft toys, bicycles and tricycles, fairy cycles, airplanes, rockets, and all these things. It was most certainly the largest toy factory in Great Britain. It was almost certainly the largest toy factory in the world.
Lines Brothers, makers of Triang toys, began manufacturing Sten gun parts in 1941. Founder and toy designer Walter Lines immediately saw ways to improve it.
One of the things that my father noticed was the Sten gun, and he looked at it and he said, "Oh no, that's not the right way to make that." So he redesigned it completely, without having previously designed a gun in his life, of course. And he took it to the Ministry of Defence and got an order, in fact, for $500,000 on the spot.
Thanks to the toy maker's refinement and the skills of the Triang workforce, the number of parts was reduced from 69 to 48. And production costs for the Mark III fell still further. A welcome case of more bangs for your buck.
Well, in order to make good things, you've got to, in fact, develop things down to a degree of simplicity, and that takes a great deal of know-how. You know, being a designer, I'm a bit of a one myself, but I'm not here to talk about that. But you have to understand how things are made and what a tool or a machine can do.
But the make, do, and mend approach came at a price. Many soldiers hated their Stens. They had a tendency to misfire if dropped, jam at critical moments, and their aim was reputedly less than true. With its back to the wall, perfectionism was a luxury Britain just couldn't afford. But that didn't mean that every piece of wartime design was compromised.